I want to spend a brief moment just recognizing how we are in an intersection of so many cultures and traditions and times, that which is among us, pointing to that which is larger than us, the great mystery of life around us. This is a time when we draw on pagan, contemporary pagan, when we are understanding the harvest that is in the plants that are withering and dying back into the earth, celebrating the cycles of life, even if we're just straight up environmentalists, hallelujah. We recognize that all comes and all can go in the growing and the dying and the rebirthing of things. It is believed by so many of our ancestors and relatives they will come back and are very near to us in this time, that it is not far from our hearts, far from our thoughts, even maybe not far from our feelings. That those who we have beloved are with us, those who we remember are with us. We draw also in this moment from our Universalist faith, in the Christian tradition, and the understanding of all souls, which is today. That in our Universalist tradition, there's a sense that all souls, when they die, are ultimately, and for some of us immediately, reconciled with God, reconciled with Jesus. There is an infinite number of cultures among us because each of us has something in our own family, our point of origin, where we come from, that understands death and the cycles of things. And so our experience of loss is profoundly local. It is profoundly localized within each of us in the layers of culture and time. There was a study done. We also understand the cycles of grief in our culture and how that impacts us. People have been trying to think about this, quantify it with our large brains. There was a study in 2007 called An Empirical Examination of the Stage Theory of Grief. I'm pretty impressed that someone tried to quantify this. The researchers conducted a study of those who lost a close family member and were able to measure the frequency of certain feelings following a death, the disbelief and the yearning, the anger, the depression, the acceptance. Those feelings are amongst those that have been part of our Western cycle of understanding the cycle of grief for some time now. And what the researchers really came to in this moment was a deeper understanding of yearning in particular, that it had shown up more than other previous models had, this yearning for the person that had been. How deeply we feel that sense of yearning depends on the circumstances, the degrees of feeling, how it shows up, how it diminishes over time. But I'm also going to tell you as a minister that grief might have stages, and I'm so glad to articulate that yearning piece. But it also, grief does not obey anything. It doesn't obey time. It has no sense of calendar. It is not linear. In my experience and also in conversation with folks, that sense of missing, that sense of yearning, it can show up in a flash. One never knows when one is going to be surprised by it. And I've had a chance to kind of more deeply understand that in the course of supporting my father in his illness in the last year and a half, and then his death last February. We have gone through so many things that weren't just about thinking about him, but so many things of the family, photos and memorabilia, mysteries that we have no idea what to do with, but they are all part of that passage and those memories of other people. And what occurs to me in this moment is how much our gathering in this time can help us manage that sense of yearning and missing, that sense of loss, that sense of sadness, sense of mixed up feelings and not always sure what to do with death. I kind of appreciate Fox being like, just tell me the truth. Well, that can be a little hard. But the holding of this together, the holding of this great, enormous mystery that we truly don't understand in all of our mortality, how much that can be helpful, how much that can mean that we are not alone in this feeling, even when we don't understand it. And I think for myself, I want to offer, I think that can be a helpful way to flow a little bit of yearning into flashes of gratitude. I miss and I love this person. I'm so glad they were in my life. I miss and I miss their presence and what they meant. And I'm so glad we had those moments together. So I really want to honor that, how much the flow of the feelings around grief can end up bringing us into when we're ready. Maybe even be surprised by it on occasion. A little sense of gratitude that love can be can be found in that expression. So I'm so grateful that we have this range of culture and practice to inform our ability to be here together, to experience loss, to understand how we are so finite and so limited. And yet here we are, glorious and beautiful and shining around each other. And let that light that is within each of us shine back out into the world even after we are gone. This is no small thing.